Hello everyone and welcome to this week's Top 5 Wednesday. The topic for this week is authors that you want to read more from. So for this video I wanted to pick authors that I feel I don't really mention that much on this channel, because obviously there are loads of authors that I want to read more from. There are loads of series that I've started that I intend to finish, so obviously all of those authors would come under authors I want to read more from. But with the exception of one of the authors I'm going to talk about today, they are all authors that I feel I don't really talk about on this channel very much, but I have read something by all of them and want to read other things. So the first one I want to talk about is David Levithan. I've read his book A Boy Meets Boy. I've read both his Dash and Lily books that he co-wrote with Rachel Cohen, and I think that's pretty much all I've read by him. I may have read a few short stories in collections and things like that, but I haven't even read his book that he co-wrote with John Green, so obviously I want to read that too. This book, Every Day, I found out about when I first discovered BookTube, so literally years ago. As far as I know, this is about a boy who wakes up in a different body every day, and one day he wakes up in the body of a boy, meets this boy's girlfriend and falls in love with her, and obviously wants to spend every single day with her, but he can't because he wakes up in a different body every day. That's pretty much all I know about it. I'm really intrigued by it, have been intrigued by it for years, so I really want to get to it at some point. I think it has a companion novel which is written from her point of view as well, so yeah, if I enjoy it, which I'm sure I will because I have really enjoyed what I have read of David Levithan's writing, I will be obviously picking up the companion as well. Another author that I really don't talk about enough on this channel is Douglas Adams, who wrote The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. This book is actually the only one I've read by him, but I know it is the first in a series, and I do want to read the rest of this series as well. I have seen the film as well, find both this book and the film absolutely hilarious, so I do want to read the rest of this series, and I also want to read anything else by Douglas Adams as well, because I just find him really hilarious, and he was what I needed when I was going through a bad time a few years ago. So yeah, if you have any Douglas Adams recommendations, then please give them to me because I would really appreciate them. Another author that I want to read more from is Jandy Nelson. I haven't actually read this book. I've read her other book, The Sky is Everywhere. Really loved it. That's about a girl who loses her sister and then very quickly afterwards begins to fall in love with her sister's former boyfriend. So it's obviously a very emotional YA contemporary about her conflicted feelings of guilt and grief and dealing with all of that. Really loved it. Loved the writing style, and I've heard even better things about I'll Give You the Sun, and I really want to give it a go. Probably this summer I will try to get to it. I think it's got a little bit of a twisty ending as well, so I'm really looking forward to getting into that and yeah, reading some more Jandy Nelson. Another author that I really want to read more from now is Laini Taylor. I recently read her new release, Strange the Dreamer. I will talk about it more in my April wrap-up. I did write a full review of it on my blog though, so I will leave a link to that review in the description down below. But I haven't read this trilogy, her Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy, and I have all three of these books, so I really want to read them because I absolutely fell crazy in love with Laini Taylor's writing style. She is a beautiful writer, so I've heard really good things about this trilogy, so hopefully I will be able to pick it up very soon. And the last author I want to talk about is an author that I already talk about a lot, but it is Stephen King, and I'm holding up The Gunslinger in particular because I want to read more Stephen King fantasy, because all I've read from Stephen King really, I mean, he is my most read author, so it's crazy that I want to read more from him, but he has so much more that I haven't even begun to dip my toes into. I've never read any of his fantasy, and this is his fantasy series, the Dark Tower series. I have 3 of the books, although they're not the first 3, so obviously I will need to pick up some of the missing books along the way. But this is the first one, so I want to get cracking on it reasonably soon and see where I go with it. I have heard very good things about the Dark Tower series though, so yeah, Stephen King fantasy is certainly something that I want to get into. And that is it for this week's Top 5 Wednesday. What are some authors that you want to read some more from? Please let me know. I will leave all of my social media in the description down below. I hope you're having an awesome day, and I will see you very soon for another video. Bye bye.